We'll call to order the Municipal Planning Commission meeting, Thursday, December 4th, 2025. Is there any opening comments?
Nothing for myself, no.
Any additions to the agenda? Can I get a motion for the adoption of the agenda? Travis?
I move that the Municipal Planning Commission adopt the agenda for the December 4th, 2025 meeting as presented.
Can I get a second, Art? Okay. All in favor? Can I get a motion for to adopt the minutes from the previous meetings? Art?
Proposed motion that the Municipal Planning Commission adopt the minutes for the November 20th, 2025 Municipal Planning Commission meeting as presented.
Can I get a second? Shelley? All in favor? Can I get a motion for the summary of development permits? Shelley?
I propose a motion that the Municipal Planning Commission accept the summary of development permits for information only.
Can I get a second? Art? All in favor? Reports from advisors.
Thank you. So agenda item 7.11 is a request for a decision for a development permit file number T0095-25D. This is for replacement of a 30 by 11 cold storage shed with approximately an 8-foot overhead door with no power and no gas. There's a relaxation to the minimum side yard setback requested from the minimum allowable of 1.2 meters to approximately 60 centimeters, which is about 2 foot. The relaxation to the separation between the principal building and the accessory building is also requested to be relaxed approximately 18%, from a minimum of 2.0 meters to 1.68 meters. So the general location of this file is at the municipal address 1505 Riverside Drive East, which is Lot 13, Block 16, Plan 8157GW. The subject location is a developed interior lot. The subject property is currently developed with a single-family residential dwelling, including an attached 2-car garage with access off the road to the front of the property. The proposal for the placement of the prefabricated, sorry, my apologies, there's a typo in your agenda there, 11 by 30 cold storage shed to the rear of the property, which the access of that would be off the alley. The structure has a maximum height of 3.05 meters, and includes a 2.44, so 8-foot overhead door. This application includes, again, so no power, no gas connections. It's intended to be used as cold storage. The application has been assessed against all overlying town policies and regulations, including the Municipal Development Plan, our land use bylaw, and other bylaws, including the Community Standards bylaw. The property does fall outside of any intermunicipal development plan areas. The proposal is in broad alignment with the majority of MDP policies for residential properties. However, doesn't align with the land use bylaw minimum setback requirements for accessory structures, which is 2.1 meters. The proposal requests the maximum considerable relaxation to side setbacks of 50%, decreasing that setback to 0.6 meters. The additional variance is being requested for the setback of the existing principal building. This proposal requests an additional relaxation to the principal building accessory building separation from 2.0 meters to 1.68 meters, which is approximately 18%. You'll see in our land use bylaw conformance section of the request for decision, accessory structures are a permitted use within the neighborhood district of the Town of Drumheller land use bylaw. However, any relaxation or variance to setbacks must be reviewed for consideration prior to approvals for any application. Application for structure meets the rear setback requirements. However, I've outlined those other separations that it does not meet. The development officer is permitted to authorize relaxations up to 20%. However, the Municipal Planning Commission is required to review any application between 21 and 50%. All other regulations within the land use bylaw do appear to have been met within the application. Given the proximity to the property line, if approved, the proposal should be designed with eaves troughs and downspouts, ensuring drainage to the rear lane and not towards the adjacent properties to the west, to ensure that any water runoff from the eaves of the proposal do not negatively impact the adjacent neighbor. So the proposed development was circulated to property owners within a 100-meter radius around the proposed development, as per our advertising and circulation standards policy. There were no written responses received at this time. I did receive one phone call on Monday. That phone call was unwilling to provide a name to their concerns, but did raise concerns with the site of the structure. It is existing. It's already been placed. The location in relation to the property to the west, though they weren't that property owner, and other concerns, but no written responses were received. So you'll see in your attachments the application. So this is an application including that variance. You'll see a handful of photos of the structure as it already situated. So I did receive a complaint about this structure specifically earlier on in the year, so mid to late October. Did a site visit, which is standard practice for myself to do for any concern that we receive, and did follow up with the property owner to ensure that the appropriate permits are placed. So the options for consideration for this permit, any proposed changes to the design or functionality of the building or the proposed conditions would need to be based on legitimate planning concerns, based in fact and not presumptions on what could happen. Matters such as management, ownership, or financing model, or user-defined characteristics or requirements are outside of the MPC's jurisdiction. If there are any concerns about the proposal, MPC may delay the decision and request for additional information from the applicant to gain further insight into any issues that could aid the decision making. So generally, there are three options: approve the application subject to conditions, or in addition to those contained in the recommended conditions for approval, refuse the application, specifying reasons for refusal, or postpone the application pending submission of additional details requested by the Planning Commission. Our motions are always made in the positive, so my recommendation is to approve the development permit subject to the conditions that are listed there. Though if there are any other concerns that are raised, they're more than welcome to be discussed, and those other considerations can be considered at this time. Thank you.
Any discussion on this? Any comments?
Do we know, is this a secant structure?
It's not, no.
It's not, so it's wood construction?
Yeah.
When I was studying the plans, I was looking like the obvious adjustment would be to make the shed a little smaller to meet all the variances. But apparently that's not the case because it's already there. I have a bit of a concern if this garage door is facing the alley, shouldn't there be an apron, lane access?
So from my discussions with the applicant, the intention of it is not to actually use it as a garage, is for general storage.
So we're gonna put a fence in front of it?
I don't believe so, no.
I think it was a pre-manufactured structure that landed.
Yeah, it is. So I've seen photos of it being delivered. It's a prefab structure that's being placed.
Could I ask why the anonymous person had a problem with it?
Concerns were raised about the appearance of the structure. I would consider it the same as other sheds that appear, that are placed. So, I'm unsure if that's something that the Municipal Planning Commission will consider as a planning concern at this time. my personal opinion is that it's not unsightly. It fits with the rest of the neighborhood. It fits with the appearance of the rest of the structures on that property. Rather than concerns relating to the um, the placement and the variance that's being requested here.
I remember a few years back when people were having sea cans put in their yards that we wanted them to have a peak roof on them, and now we have one with a peak roof, so I'm just addressing that as well.
Yeah, so when this was delivered, I don't think that it's a sea. I don't think it's a sea can. I don't have reason to believe that.
So the structure that it's closest to is it another shed or something?
It is, yeah. So the structure that it's closest to is the attached garage. So it's the land use bylaw outlines that any accessory structure must be a minimum of 2.0 meters from any principal building. This is required, so 2 meters, just over 6 foot. This is requesting that it's 5.5 feet from that.
The one to the right that it's closer, actually closer to is some other accessory building.
And that's a wee little shed. Yeah.
I had one thing just about the eaves troughs on it. Like, are they installed yet, or are they installing them?
They're not. So that was a recommendation that I made to the applicant anyway. And that's a condition that's been written into the proposed conditions that have been placed there. So any condition that's placed, it's the development officer's responsibility to ensure that those are being met. Usually for pre-existing structures, we would give them a specified time frame that specific condition would need to be met by, especially with the amount of snow that we're getting. We want to make sure that any water runoff is not damaging the adjacent property or the fence that appears to be between both of the properties there.
I have a repeat question, I think. So from the new building to to the garage, I see it being 5.5 feet. Is that?
Yeah, that's correct.
And you're saying that the distance is to be how far?
2 meters. So that's an 18% variance.
And the little one? What's the little one where it says 4.5?
I don't have that, so the land use bylaw doesn't speak to those distances.
Pardon me?
The land use bylaw doesn't speak to those separations.
Well, what's the little building?
It's a little shed.
Any other comments? We're good. Can I get a motion?
Which one is it here? Oh, move that the Municipal Planning Commission approve development permit application T 00095-25D for the placement of one 11 by 30 accessory building cold storage shed, including a relaxation of minimum side setback requirement from 1.2 to 0.6 meters, and a relaxation of the principal building, accessory building separation from 2 meters to 1.68 meters. Placement located at 1505 Riverside Drive East, Lot 13, Block 16, Plan 8157 GW, with conditions as presented.
Can I get a second? Travis? All in favor?
Sorry, do you mind just making that vote again? I think that there were people that didn't vote,
Oh,
so I just
okay.
want to make sure that that's
Okay,
recorded.
all in favor?
Are
Just-
you recusing your vote or just not? You're not voting.
I didn't ask if I was voting negative.
All those opposed? There we go. Thank you. And there's nothing from the Palliser Regional Municipal Services today. Our next meeting is December 18th, 2025. Can I get a motion for the adjournment of the meeting, please. Art,
Move to adjourn.
second? Shelley? All in favor?